is how do you resolve conflict as an alpha wife, which is a major struggle for many alpha wives. I'm an alpha wife. So let's first define what an alpha wife is. An alpha wife is someone who has a strong personality, can be domineering, very go-getter, very ambitious, very strong, very assertive, has no problems with saying what she wants, how she wants it, when she wants it, and how fast to get to her. Okay. So an alpha wife is strong, and there's other personality traits that go along with her, but she's normally a very strong personality. And sometimes in relationships, what goes on with an alpha wife is in business, in a corporate world, she's very, she got it. You don't have to, there's no emotion. She knows how to separate emotion from the job. She handles her business. She has no problem in delegating. She's very good at giving instructions. She's very good at planning. She's very good at seeing 5 years down the road, a mile down the road. She's very good at resolving conflict. She's very good at coming up with solutions to problems. The difference is at home, she struggles because of the whole dynamics of marriage and how a husband is supposed to lead, but she's an alpha wife, so it's hard for alpha wives to come up with that balance. Many alpha wives may not have been, they were raised to be strong, they were raised to be ambitious, most alpha wives were raised to not rely on a man. They were raised to be strong and take care of themselves. So when you join in marriage, it's sometimes harder to go ahead and say, okay, how do we do this? I know we need to go left, but he's talking about going right. Or he did X, Y, and Z. Now I want to come at him. If you're an alpha wife like me, I'm a chocolate girl from the Bronx still. I live in Texas, but I'm still that chocolate girl from the Bronx. So I'm very, we can be loud, we can be strong, and we can be very defensive at times. So honing that in and learning how to not pop off can be a challenge, especially because we allow our emotions to get involved. So one of the things that you can do as an alpha wife with resolving conflict is, one of the main things that most women that work with me are like CEOs, they're business owners, they run businesses, they run stuff, they're nonprofit runners, they're leaders within their church, wherever they are a leader. So one of the ways you can handle these conflict is handle the conflict as though you were handling a problem at work. Okay. Now, of course, I'm speaking to women who are good leaders. Now, remember, if you are an alpha wife, you're most likely a leader wherever you function, whether it's work, church, in corporate organizations, and within your community. You're normally strong and assertive, but you know how to handle yourself and get your point across without people feeling some kind of way about it. You get your point across without yelling. You get your point across without crying. You get your point across without offending people. Or you do your best to. You're very intentional about your tone. You're very intentional about getting your point across, and then making sure that you're not, being loud and disrespectful. Okay. So handle those conflicts, those conversations with your husband as though you're speaking to coworkers. Okay. Handle it as though you're speaking to others within your ministry, others within your organization, peers within your organization. Okay. Now, how does that look? Normally, when there's a conflict at work, what you should be doing, if you're an effective leader, you focus on what's the problem. That's number one. Number two, what's the root of the problem? Okay? Because if it's a problem if you're just dealing with the fruit of the problem, you're not dealing with the root, the issue is going to keep coming up. Okay? So, for example, if you are dealing with, let's say, a dirty kitchen, okay? Or let me think. If you're on here, go ahead and give me a conflict to resolve. But the whole thing is what's the root of the problem? Let's address the root of the problem. What's going to fix that problem? And then let's focus on not blaming the other person, not pointing the fingers, but let's focus on how can we solve this problem? What is the solution to this problem? What is the best way for us to not experience this conflict again? Okay, so that's the next step. After that, let's come up with strategies that can help us walk down this path where we're not creating this problem again. Okay, so for example, let's say the conflict is money issues in the house, and hubby doesn't handle finances the way that you like. You're one that you want your bills paid. You want your bills paid on time. You like your credit score. Okay, you like for it to stay high. Okay, so the issue that you need to deal with is the how the finances are handled. Okay, not pointing the finger at him saying, why did you buy another watch? Why did you go to the mall? Why did you? No, let's deal with number one. He has a desire he wants to be able to, have his own money, do what he wants. He wants to be able to buy things here and there. He's a hardworking man. Hopefully you have a hardworking man. Okay, that's number one. Not somebody lazy sitting on the couch, because we don't do that. Okay, you're an ambitious wife. You're not taking care of a grown man. We don't do that. Okay, so so what we do is we come up with a system. We come up with a process to where he can receive. He can feel that he is able to do the things that he wants, and you are able to make sure the bills are getting paid. So one of the things that we do in my house is a certain amount of money can go to your husband. A certain amount of money goes to paying bills. You set it up automatically. So whether you have all the money deposited into one account, okay, and then you disperse it. You can place a certain amount, have it transferred into his account, and then and have bills set up automatically to be paid every single month. Okay, you need to have budget meetings every single week to go over things like that. But the whole point is, when you're having these meetings, don't be emotional. When you're resolving conflict, do not be emotional. Be logical. Be solution driven. Focus on how can we solve this problem. Focus on what's the root of the problem, how to best solve it so that both of us feel safe, so that both of us feel heard, and both of us feel appreciated. Okay? Because what you don't want to do is be overbearing and just, well, you need to do what I said because I know better than you. We don't want to be that way, okay? Because you want him to feel open to hearing your advances or hearing what it is that you're wanting to say, okay? Or hearing the plan and implementing the plan. Because what you also don't want is for him just to say yes, he's going along with the plan, and he's going to do whatever he want to do anyway, because that can happen sometimes. So that's one passive aggressive behavior that some men do function with, and women do too. But of course, I focus on women and I help wives. Okay, so when resolving conflict as an alpha wife, be intentional about handling the conversation the same way you would handle coworkers at work, in church, or organizations that you are running or organizations that you are leading. You handle it very logical. You take all emotion out of the equation. Focus on the problem. What is the root of the problem? Deal with the root. Find a solution to eliminate the root of the problem. Come up with that solution. Implement it in a way to where both of you feel comfortable and both of you feel it's doable. And then have weekly check-ins to follow up with that conflict and say, okay, is this working for us? Okay, so that's my main solution as an alpha wife, how to handle conflict in your marriage. Okay, so the next question, and I'm probably going to be on here only about 20 minutes. The Q&As are normally just 20 minutes. If you need help with this, click the link in my bio, click the link and apply to work with me on my one-on-one mentorship where I help wives who are healing with infidelity, who are working towards rebuilding themselves and implementing strategies that protect them from future harm. Okay, and conflict resolution is really necessary when you're going through the healing process because you have to deal with the issues that harmed you. Okay.